The void left by the absence of transcendent talent is rarely a silence. Often, it is a deafening hum of anticipation, a low-frequency vibration of expectation that permeates the entire landscape of the sport. For the Indiana Fever organization, that hum is currently vibrating at maximum intensity, centered entirely around the inevitable return of superstar guard Caitlin Clark. While the injury sustained that sidelined her for the vast majority of the 2025 season was a cruel twist of fate for the franchise and its rapidly expanding fanbase, it paradoxically amplified her status from mere basketball phenom to a cultural force whose influence extends far beyond the hardwood. The calendar may read differently, but the real countdown is fixed on the year 2026, the year the Fever expects the true era of dominance to begin. But until then, the world must feast on the carefully curated moments of her presence, moments which only serve to reinforce the foundational truth. The biggest star in basketball is operating on a plane entirely of her own making, a fact spectacularly confirmed on Christmas Day. This was not merely a marketing activation, it was a cultural coronation delivered with cinematic precision. Since the initial unveiling of her sleek, personalized Nike logo and the tantalizing tease that her signature product line, a genuine rarity in women's sports, was slated for a 2026 debut, the demand for any substantive content chronicling Clark's partnership with a global athletic giant had reached a fever pitch. Fans, media, and investors alike were perpetually champing at the bit, hungry for the next chapter of this unprecedented commercial collaboration. And Nike delivered, gifting the world a meticulously crafted commercial centered around a tagline that encapsulates the entirety of Clark's competitive ethos, from anywhere. And if you like to stay up to date with your favorite team or player, give the video a like, because that's the only way to tell the YouTuber you're a fan of the Indiana Fever and the WNBA, and that you want to be informed of the latest news. Now, let's get to the news. The commercial unfolded with the effortless cool and unbothered confidence that defines Clark's on-court demeanor. It began on an unassuming outdoor court, the kind of gritty blacktop where legends are born and practiced in anonymity. Clark is seen effortlessly pulling up and draining baskets, the rhythmic swish of the net providing the initial soundtrack. With several clean makes under her belt, the scene shifts, the challenge intensifying as a spectator. A face in the crowd representing the collective eye of skepticism and awe, urges her to increase the difficulty, daring her to make a shot from even further away. She complies, the ball arcing perfectly, dropping cleanly through the hoop. This successful feat only raises the stakes, introducing a compelling narrative device that mirrored the escalating challenges Clark has faced throughout her career. The commercial cuts swiftly to a group of energized youth basketball players, their faces alight with competitive fire, pushing the boundary even further. They challenge her, implicitly questioning the limits of her range, suggesting that the impossible distance is still further down the court. The ensuing sequence transformed the ad from a simple showcase of skill into a powerful statement on legacy and impact. An array of instantly recognizable figures from the worlds of sports, entertainment, and culture began to appear, each adding their voice to the chorus of doubt and daring. This constellation of celebrity challengers was meticulously curated to maximize the impact. There was the familiar grounding presence of her former Iowa Hawkeyes head coach, Lisa Blutter, providing an authoritative benchmark. Then, the beloved Kelsey brothers entered the fray, their high-profile status adding a layer of mainstream sports ubiquity. The sharp wit of comedian Michael Che injected an element of cultural commentary, and finally, the gravitas of rap icon Travis Scott sealed the deal, positioning Clark at the intersection of hip-hop, sports, and global brand recognition. Each personality, in turn, challenged Clark to increase her shooting distance, their expressions implying a shared collective disbelief that she could possibly continue this streak of improbable makes. Yet, throughout this entire escalating gauntlet of expectation and doubt, Clark remained utterly unfazed. Her expression was consistent, her focus unwavering, her confidence quiet but absolute. The commercial reached its inevitable, triumphant crescendo. The camera lingers as she takes the final, most audacious shot. The tension breaks as the ball finds its mark, draining cleanly through the net. This final frame is the punctuation mark on her narrative. She stands victorious, clad in a powerful blue Indiana Fever jersey, a symbolic reminder of where her immediate competitive future lies. Turning toward the camera, her gaze direct, and delivering the conclusive, defining line, "From anywhere." The reaction was immediate and overwhelmingly positive, a testament to the ad's effectiveness in capturing not just Clark's skill, but her iconic status. The commercial did far more than simply sell the potential of a future product. It crystallized the anticipation surrounding the imminent arrival of her signature shoe, set for 2026, transforming a future retail item into an essential piece of cultural iconography. It elevated the excitement, adding gasoline to the already roaring fire of intrigue. Fans are now not just preparing for her return, they are preparing for the grand unveiling of the commercial and competitive future she represents. This grand cultural moment, however, stands in stark juxtaposition to the operational realities currently facing the Indiana Fever organization. While Clark is currently dominating the discourse from afar, gearing up for her triumphant return to the court in 2026 after battling through the rehabilitation of an injury that stole most of the 2025 campaign. The management team is immersed in the gritty, immediate challenges of roster construction. One of the most keenly interested observers, both of Clark's commercial success and her physical recovery, is Fever General Manager and Chief Operating Officer, Amber Cox. Cox, who is currently navigating a period of profound uncertainty for the entire league, took a brief but telling moment to weigh in on her star player's performance in a high-stakes world of commercial acting. Her X-post, a succinct 6-word declaration, spoke volumes about the organization's pride and the multifaceted potential she sees in Clark, hooper and actor. Well done, CC. This simple appraisal, blending the recognition of elite athletic skill Hooper with the acknowledgement of her burgeoning celebrity presence and actor, confirms that the Fever organization views Clark not just as their foundational player, but as a crucial pillar in their marketing and cultural strategy. Cox understands that the value of Clark transcends the box score. It is a holistic, 3,650-day-a-year value proposition. Yet, even as Cox applauds the commercial triumph, the calendar and the front office workload refuse to slow down. Cox has an incredibly dense and complex period of work stretching out before her, potentially compacted into a severely condensed timeline. The WNBA is facing an unprecedented moment of instability and potential turnover, driven by the fact that nearly every veteran player across the league is slated for free agency. This situation alone would be enough to induce organizational paralysis in a lesser franchise. However, the real bottleneck, the wrench thrown into the gears of the entire league's transactional machinery, is the unsettled state of the collective bargaining agreement. The free agency period, the critical window for teams to reshape their rosters, secure veteran talent, and navigate the movement of star players, cannot officially commence until a new CBA is formally ratified by the players and owners. This stalled negotiation means the entire process of player acquisition is currently frozen in a state of suspended animation, leaving general managers like Cox waiting for the starting pistol that could sound with little warning, forcing her to execute highly complex roster moves in a fraction of the time typically allotted. The pressure to negotiate, sign, and integrate a new core of players is immense, and the ticking clock is deafening. Despite this precarious logistical landscape, Amber Cox holds a unique and powerful advantage, a silver lining woven into the fabric of the Fever's future that simplifies a job that should otherwise be impossibly difficult. The good news, the great undeniable truth, is that the core foundation of the Indiana Fever is cemented and unshakable. Both Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, two generational talents representing the highest ceiling of the sport, are securely under contract. This essential stability acts as a potent magnet, a gravitational pull for prospective free agents. For WNBA players navigating the uncertainty of a mass free agency, the opportunity to play alongside a duo with the competitive drive and proven star power of Clark and Boston represents perhaps the single most appealing destination in the entire league. This superstar synergy minimizes the risk for new acquisitions, offering a clear path to high-level competition and, crucially, massive visibility. Cox's ability to recruit top-tier talent is considerably eased by the foundational presence of two players who command attention both competitively and commercially. The stage is set for a dramatic confluence of events. On one hand, there is the global transcendent marketing power of Caitlin Clark, as flawlessly demonstrated by the Nike campaign and its assertion that she can achieve excellence from anywhere. On the other, there is the grinding urgent need for Amber Cox to capitalize on this star power, navigating a treacherous free agency market dictated by an unsettled CBA, securing the necessary pieces to support Clark and Boston for their 2026 return. The hype is real, the pressure is immense, and the quiet confidence of the Fever's management rests entirely on the shoulders of their undeniable star, the woman who continues to redefine what is possible, both on and off the court. The cultural ripple effect unleashed by the unveiling of Caitlin Clark's signature Nike presence continues to swell, transforming from a mere product tease into a definitive statement of cultural dominance. The highly anticipated commercial, which landed with the impact of a holiday blockbuster, did more than just satisfy the appetites of fans who had been champing at the bit since the initial tease. It cemented Clark's status as a gravitational center that transcends the hardwood. The commercial's core, built around the emphatic tagline, "From Anywhere," serves as a masterful metaphoric encapsulation of her career, chronicling her relentless ascent and her ability to defy positional and distance limitations. It is the story of a shooter who makes the impossible mundane, starting on an unassuming outdoor court, draining baskets with casual perfection. The brilliance of the marketing campaign lies in its escalating tension, a challenge issued first by an anonymous spectator, then amplified by a chorus of voices representing the wider cultural sphere. As the commercial progresses, Clark is pushed further and further back, the distance seemingly impossible for a professional basketball player, yet she remains unbothered, her focus singular and absolute. This isn't just about making shots, it is a declaration of confidence in the face of doubt, a powerful narrative tool underlined by the appearance of major cultural figures and athletic royalty. The inclusion of her former Iowa Hawkeyes head coach, Lisa Blutter, provides a foundation of authenticity and history, while the arrival of global icons like the Kelsey brothers, the sharp comedic timing of Michael Che, and the undeniable resonance of rap icon Travis Scott, collectively transform the advertisement into a validation of Clarke's universal appeal. They are the assembled doubters, the voices of skepticism, suggesting she cannot possibly make it from that far, a symbolic representation of the scrutiny that shadows any athlete reaching this pinnacle of fame. Yet, every single time, Clarke delivers, culminating in the final decisive swish while clad in the unmistakable blue jersey of the Indiana Fever, sealing the moment with the resolute delivery of the phrase, "From anywhere." The commercial has rightfully garnered a tremendous volume of positive feedback, not just for its technical execution, but for the clarity of its message, successfully intensifying the intrigue surrounding the official release of her signature shoe in 2026. The appetite for this product is now ravenous, a direct testament to Nike's decision to elevate Clarke to the pantheon of athletes receiving their own product line so early in their professional journey. It's a marketing masterstroke that benefits not only the giant apparel company but provides an incalculable boost to the Indiana Fever brand, keeping their star front of mind even as she remains sidelined due to the injury that cost her the majority of the upcoming 2025 season. And perhaps no one recognizes the strategic value of this cross-platform success more clearly than the organization's leadership. Indiana Fever General Manager and Chief Operating Officer, Amber Cox, offered her concise but potent seal of approval via a social media post, capturing the essence of the moment with just 6 words, "Hooper and actor. Well done, CC." This seemingly simple endorsement speaks volumes. It's the organization acknowledging and celebrating the marketability that Clarke brings, the validation that she is a transcendent talent capable of thriving both as an elite athlete and as a compelling cultural personality. For Cox, whose focus must remain relentlessly on the court and the administrative hurdles ahead, this external success is a necessary buoy, a positive distraction from the immediate high-stakes complexities she is navigating. The job description for the Fever's CO is fraught with tension right now, defined by a massive administrative bottleneck that threatens to compress the crucial free agency period into an urgent, frantic scramble. The fundamental crisis hinges on the collective bargaining agreement. An overwhelming majority of WNBA veterans, almost every single one in fact, is set to become a free agent, making this off-season potentially one of the most transformative in league history. However, this critical free agency period cannot officially commence until a new CBA is formally ratified. The delay in ratification means Amber Cox and every other GM in the league are forced to operate in a state of suspended animation, knowing that when the floodgates finally open, they will have a dangerously condensed amount of time to execute their strategies, sign pivotal veteran talent, and shape their rosters for the challenging season ahead. This confluence of league-wide contractual instability and the immediate logistical headache it presents elevates the pressure on Cox considerably. She needs to secure key pieces, manage salary cap concerns, and conduct negotiations under an accelerated timeline, all while attempting to build a roster capable of competing in 2025, a season where their marquee player will be recovering. Yet, amidst this organizational chaos and league uncertainty, Cox possesses the ultimate non-negotiable trump card, the foundational advantage that makes her difficult job significantly, perhaps considerably easier, the contractual security of both Caitlin Clarke and Aaliyah Boston. This pairing is the foundational bedrock upon which the Fever's immediate and long-term future rests. While other teams face the anxiety of potentially losing their core stars to the unprecedented free agent class, Cox knows her 2 generational talents are locked into Indiana. This certainty changes the entire dynamic of the free agency pitch. Veterans entering the market are not just evaluating a paycheck, they are evaluating opportunity, trajectory, and cultural exposure. The opportunity to play alongside a reigning cultural phenomenon like Clarke, whose media presence guarantees unparalleled spotlight, and the defensive and interior dominance of a foundational star like Boston, creates a powerful gravitational pull toward Indianapolis. The promise of 2026, when Clarke is scheduled to return fully healthy, potentially debuting her signature Nike product, and ready to link up with a veteran-enhanced roster curated by Cox during this high-stakes free agency period, is an irresistible lure. The Fever, previously overlooked, now stands as a premier destination. Cox's 6-word endorsement of Clarke, recognizing her as both hooper and actor, is not merely a compliment, it is a strategic acknowledgement of the totality of the asset she controls. Clarke's off-court success ensures the franchise remains relevant, financially robust, and attractive to external talent, even during her injury absence. Therefore, the saga of the Nike commercial, Amber Cox's sharp reply, and the surrounding administrative turmoil all converge to paint a picture of an organization strategically positioned for future dominance, even as it navigates present difficulty. The 2025 season will undoubtedly be a challenge, a period of grit and patience required while awaiting the return of the franchise's cultural icon. But the work being done now, the ability to capitalize on the Clarke-Boston synergy in a chaotic free agent market, is the decisive factor. Amber Cox's measured yet enthusiastic response to the commercial underscores the belief that Clarke's star power, her ability to perform and market, to challenge expectations, and to deliver from anywhere, is the unstoppable force that will fundamentally redefine the Indiana Fever and reshape the competitive landscape of the entire WNBA. The wait for the signature shoes and the on-court reunion is long, stretching into 2026, but the narrative is already written. The center of gravity in the WNBA is shifting, pulled relentlessly toward a franchise built on a foundation of undeniable talent and unprecedented cultural reach. The simple yet powerful message of the ad serves not just as a marketing slogan, but as the enduring mantra for the Fever's future. They will succeed, they will recruit, and they will shoot their shot, definitively, from anywhere.